Once again, Anthony Davis had a great game, game one, had a terrible game, game two. So many people are furious, irate with Anthony Davis. I get it, but I'm not one of them. Let me say something about Anthony Davis that I hope you can hear. For us to be mad at Anthony Davis is ignorant. Okay. I look at it like this. When somebody shows you who they are, you have the obligation to believe them. But furthermore, can we stop questioning and challenging Anthony Davis's will or his want to? Let me give it to you in a way that I know LeSean McCoy can understand. I have 3 cars. I don't say this to brag. I say this to deliver information. I have a Bentley, I have a Lexus, I have a Land Rover. My Bentley is the smoothest, it's the fastest, it's a convertible drop top, it's the sleekest, it's the nicest. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm not driving to Orange County and back thinking I'm gonna make it without no gas. I'm gonna have to stop, because that's the cost of having a Bentley. Now, my Lexus can go to Orange County and back 3 times. It's not nearly as fast, not nearly as sleek, not nearly as smooth, don't got the bells and whistles, but that's the luxury of having that whip. See, when you have Anthony Davis, he's like that Bentley. He can do more than just about every other player, but please understand, he's going to have to stop and refuel. And I can't sit there yelling at my Bentley, I need you to drive longer. That's not what it was designed to do. Let me break it down even further. Joel Embiid, MVP this year. But think about Joel Embiid's first 2 years injured. Think about Joel Embiid this year injured. Kevin Durant, he got injured trying to make a layup unguarded in pre-game routine. Kevin Durant has missed more games the last 4 years than he has played. Think about Giannis. Last 2 of his 3 playoff appearances injured. What do all of them have in common? 6'11" plus with game. So there's something anatomically, something kinetically about being 6'11" that I don't understand, and I assume you at home don't understand, or you'd probably be in the NBA yourself. So I no longer am frustrated with Anthony Davis. I completely understand that this comes with the territory of being Anthony Davis, and the sooner you realize it, as I just now realized it, I think the better for everybody. Shady, you had a brilliant take on this, and I want to hear it again. Should the Lakers be frustrated with AD?
2 things. One, you have a nice garage.
Yes.
Don't he?
Yeah.
Got the Bentley out there.
It's a
Sometimes waking up is hard to pick what key to get. I get that. And the second thing is, like, I don't care how tall you are who you are.
Fair.
Your height has nothing to do with it. I think with Anthony Davis, the issue is you can be frustrated, and I can understand the frustration.
Okay.
A guy with this much talent, he has top 5 type of talent. I don't think he's a top 5 player. I think he's always in and out. You know, he shows up one game, then the other games he don't, like he did last night, where everybody is so upset with him. But the thing is, this is who he is. He hasn't had 20 points back-to-back games this playoffs yet.
Wow.
It hasn't happened. He balls out, then he disappears. I just think it's more of a issue with the team. Well, what happened? What's going on? But I feel like they know him. That's why they had the whole thing with the minute restrictions. You know, if we play him too much, he might get hurt. He hasn't played more than 40 minutes this playoffs.
Back-to-back.
Right, back-to-back games. He hasn't done that. So my thing with Anthony Davis is this. I know who he is. I'm fine with that. I think the Lakers are fine with that. It can be a little frustrating. I can understand the frustration, but I do believe that the team and coaches, guys like LeBron James, they're okay with it because they know what comes with that, right? He may not show up this game, but you still can win with him. He didn't show up every game against the Memphis series. They still win with him. So you still can win with Anthony Davis, even though he's up and down.
How frustrating, Shady, is it playing with a guy like that? Or maybe you have actually been that guy. I won't say if you have or you haven't. You have.
No, I know.
How frustrating is it playing with the superstar who maybe he gets fatigued more often, maybe he drops more passes than he should, maybe he fumbles more often, maybe he's less available, but when he's there, when he shows up, he go crazy?
I've played with players, and I'm going to be honest. I remember my first year with the Eagles, our best player was Donovan McNabb. Right, and I would see sometimes where Westbrook was there. He was my older veteran, right? He was a starting running back. I was behind him. And I would have games where maybe McNabb wasn't playing well, and he would be by himself on the cooler, where most players, they're with the team. And I'm like, yo, you going to go say something to him? He said, no, you let 5 be 5. He said, because when he's on, nobody can beat us. But when he's not on, we don't play as well. He said, so you let him figure it out. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. But he was right. As the season went on, the games he played well and he was focused, we was killing cats. The days that he wasn't really up, he wasn't really focused, he was going in and out, missing reads, and he was frustrated with himself, we didn't play well. So I learned, that was a sign or experience that I learned, a lesson where, okay, certain players that's really, really good, you let them be. And you let them, they work through it. And a guy like Anthony Davis, he shows you, he works through it, he might not play, he might ball out, he might not come back and play well, but then he'll be back again. So you deal with it.
That's really good.
That is the difference that I've seen with players versus fans or media, is that players accept players for being who they are and don't expect them to change. And that's why the Lakers should not be frustrated, because injuries aside and availability aside, Anthony Davis has just shown you that at times he's uber aggressive and sometimes he's not. It has nothing to do with his physicality.
Right.
It has to do with his want to or his focus or who knows what it is, but it's something that he's demonstrated since he came into the league. This is no different. So I always take great exception with this when fans or media or anybody wants a player to change. Look, the Lakers knew who Anthony Davis was when they got him, right?
That's true, yes.
Just like they knew who Russell Westbrook was when they got him. They knew who Carmelo Anthony was when he joined them. So this idea that
Good point.
a guy's supposed to come in and, well, we want you to be this because we need you to be this. It's like, no, this is who he is. So he gave you what you can sometimes expect in game one, and he also gave you what you can expect in game two. So why be frustrated? Shady, this is what I wonder is when you know that you have a guy who is off and on, like a Donovan McNabb, do you collectively go, okay, he's off, so we need to do more, or we need to do different? Because we know that at times that's going to be the case.
You know what's tricky about that question is when it's your best player, you kind of have to deal with it, right? Compared to if I had players where they're really good, they're not the best, they're really, really good, and they're very helpful, big impact, and they're up and down, then we got to take over.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But I will say this, though, man, and I will be lying if I didn't say this. I'm a type of player, and I feel like a lot of the big-time players, like let's say a guy like LeBron James, he's so good at, like, managing different teammates.
Yeah,
but I know in his mind, that probably gets to him because he's the type of dude, he's going to deliver every game. And I feel like sometimes with Anthony Davis, we get so blinded by how great talent he has, how skilled he is. But other dudes that's in his lane, like a Giannis, like Jokic, like Embiid, they're going to bring it every game. You don't have to try to hype them up or hopefully they're going to play well. That's my thing with AD is we got to stop putting him in the top guys because of his talent. They got to go off of production, right?
Correct.
Come on.
And I think, Shady, you're exactly right. But now that we know who AD is, and truth be told, I believe Embiid has just now entered that category. I don't think Embiid was
he's been in
No, I don't think his first 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I don't think
he was injured, though.
Correct. That's the point. Like, a lot of AD's shortcomings are in large part because he's injured. But Shady just said something that had me thinking, and hopefully y'all can rock with us at home. Clearly, the brilliant Joy Taylor's not with us today, but I asked her a question yesterday, Slick. You might recall. I said, in light of the fact that Anthony Davis isn't always present, should the Lakers maybe go ahead and anticipate that he's going to have a down game two and just chill? Let's roll the tape. I want y'all to take a look. This is a question that might seem a little odd, but I'm curious for where you all take it. Is there any wisdom in intentionally pacing AD, knowing who and what he is? Slick, I said this yesterday to Shady, and I said it to Joy because I'm like, okay, AD only gave us 11 points, 7 boards. Lakers lost by 27, and AD played 33 minutes.
Right.
AD could have played 12, 15 minutes and got the same result.
Yeah.
So would it have been crazy for the Lakers to say, like Shady said, we know who Anthony Davis is. Let's be proactive. And let's not try to push Anthony Davis to the limit, knowing he doesn't have a limit to push. Would it have been crazy to do it?
It wouldn't be crazy if they had the personnel to play a significantly different way, right? If you had an AD-type player, or if you had the personnel to just do what the Warriors are doing, which is we're going to go away from Kevon Looney. We're going to play small. We're going to spread the floor, right? I don't know that they have that personnel. And I don't know that the difficulty with AD is it fatigue or is it simply a lack of aggression on a consistent basis and owning who you need him to be on a day in, day out basis?
I don't like that. I'll be honest. That's like taking the easy way out, right? I mean, we know who he is, but hey, hopefully he goes out there and dominates. I feel like you give him a pass, but okay, but look, he's not gonna play that well. We know that he doesn't do back-to-back really well. Let's let somebody else goes in there. No. Let him figure it out. Because that right there, you just basically giving up. You was giving up.
But Shady,
all right, let the Warriors win. Come doing?
But Shady,
Nah.
isn't there any wisdom in your mind of saying like, don't you sometimes have to work smarter, not harder?
Yeah.
Like I often think about Shady, like if it was ever a conditioning test, like I'm gonna be calculated, right? I'm not gonna sprint the first rep because I know I got 20 of them. We got half gassers. I can't sprint every single one. I'm gonna go 80% the whole time to make it through the workout. Shady, don't you think there's a little bit of wisdom in the coaches saying, I'm not gonna keep trying to put this square peg in this round hole?
You know why I don't like that? Because now AD may lose confidence. Because he's going to say, oh, well, dang, coach don't got confidence. He's not confident in me. Oh, he's taking my minutes away. Oh, I balled out this game. Everybody talks about how I won't ball out again. He takes me out. Now my minutes are lower. What's going on? You don't want to have that psyche going in a player's head. Listen, but I'm telling you, though, the worst thing you can do for any player, you mess with his confidence.
Yeah.
And it's the coaches that mess with the confidence. Damn, coach don't believe me? Oh, man. You start thinking. The worst thing is when your mind goes. I know we all been there.
Okay, but there's also the flip side of that, which is I'm going to make you earn your minutes. You're not playing 30.
You're gonna make our best player do that? And I would say LeBron's the best player, but LeBron always talks about how it's supposed to be the young Anthony Davis. He is still young.
Obviously, at this stage, you can't.
You can't do that.
The die has already been set.
Come on.
But in much the same way that what Steve Kerr is doing with Jonathan Kuminga.
He's not a max player. He's not a max player.
They're projecting him to be the next big piece. And he's saying, you know what? You're not going to play unless you play hard, because that's the role I need you to play right now.
This boy making $38 million a year, you can't tell him?
You know you can't do that.
You can't do that, Slick.
Look, I'm not saying
I don't make nowhere near that money.
on.
And they better not tell me on Fox I can't talk how I want to talk.
I'm not saying you do that with AD now. I'm saying that that's maybe the way you needed to do it from the very beginning.
Got it.
Because once you've established that, and once a guy's got paid, because even with Jordan Poole, he got paid. So I don't know that you can change that dynamic now. But you have to set it early.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you get to this place where, let's face it, Anthony Davis has everything he wants. Does he need to play hard every game to get to where he's got a ring? People still talk about him as being a top 10 talent. Like, what does he have to play for?
Here's what's fascinating in my mind, and I got this final thought. It's just like, the only players that truly play crazy hard every single game are the ones that wind up in the Hall of Fame. They're the top 0.05%. They're the Brian Dawkins of the world. You know what I mean? Like the dudes who because there are a lot of very talented
more
players.
NFL than NBA.
But I'm saying because even think about Draymond. Not that he doesn't play hard every game, but Draymond said it himself about his game 1 versus game 2. Coach showed him the tape Draymond, who is this guy? Draymond, I don't know who this guy is.
Well,
not even offensively. He showed Draymond his defensive tape saying, I don't even know who this guy is.
He was different.
He was different.
But you know what? That's also the luxury of being as talented as you are with Anthony Davis. Because Anthony Davis can still get a few things done and make himself meaningful without playing as hard as he possibly can. Draymond Green can't have that impact. Jimmy Butler can't have that impact. Those guys have to play hard.
Very good point. Yeah.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.